Baby, I'm praying on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hey everyone.
Hello everyone, welcome to a very special episode of MVCB, Maroon 5 Cover Band Podcast. As you can see, we've got some festive drinks prepared.
It's the holidays.
It is the holidays, and you know what that means. Eggnog. So what I've got here is actually a lactate version of eggnog.
And I kind of have the more, traditional, not as sort of soy boy version over here.
Well,
no offense, to anyone that, but
it's just as fine. It says it's real eggnog, no discomfort, and I don't want any discomfort because I'm lactose intolerant. So I'm going to fix myself a little.
I think I will as well.
And this is delicious. But wait, hang on. Don't forget the nutmeg and the most important part, good old Jim Beam.
Do you want some nutmeg?
Yes, absolutely. 'Tis the season.
Tis the season. You might notice the festive lighting. Zach really took his time, kind of rigged up a really cool red and green color scheme for tonight, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, I try to go all out for the holidays. So you can pour more or less if you want, but hang on, cheers.
Cheers.
To a very merry MVCB Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
To Adam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
This tastes exactly like I would expect eggnog to taste. Very good. Lactate, you've done it again. Thank you.
I think it's just a dash more nutmeg.
I'll
That's
take
good.
a little more too, actually. Not too much, I don't want to get high.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you need a lot more than that to get there. But, so we're wrapping up the...
Season 2. Season 2 of the podcast, season 1 of the video podcast.
Right, exactly. So,
sorry to interrupt.
No, I just missed my train of thought. But I just figured we kind of reminisce over the events of the past year and the successes and whatnot. We don't really have... we do have a special announcement towards the end of this, but we'll get to that towards the end of this. But
it's been a rough year for me, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've really come into my own, though, with that being said. I've had some of my lowest points in life. I've had to take a cold, hard look at myself in the mirror and say, hey buddy, wake up, This is the only life you've got. But more recently, I've kind of realized that I do have an afterlife as well, so that makes me feel a little better. I figure the stuff that I'm not able to achieve in this life, I'll kind of have a second shot at in heaven, essentially. I think I had mentioned it, in one of our spicier episodes, the Trial of Adam Levine. I had mentioned, stumbling into a church, drunk off my ass and kind of finding Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. And, I'm going to be honest with you, I said that on the podcast and then, a couple days later I was thinking, what the fuck am I talking about? I don't really subscribe to one organized religion. So I kind of stepped back a little bit. And then I did go to church. I went to a Methodist church this last Sunday, and I have to say, there's a lot of community there. There's a lot of women there, and it's sort of interesting in a way because I think that I've kind of realized that I'm too much of a loner, and I think that really Jesus is Lord and Savior, and it just kind of speaks to where our culture's headed. That it had so many, it's been so hard for me to meet single, eligible, straight women, out of the non-Christian world, and that's not me trying to say there's anything wrong with being, any of those things, but it was kind of a breath of fresh air, seeing so many young women who sort of, their heart was set to marriage and to children, and it kind of just made me realize what I was missing out on by sort of living a life of sin, of scandal, of girlfriend after girlfriend, drugs. Well, I still drink. Methodists can drink, so that's
energy.
That's a nice thing. 5 hour energies.
Don't forget that. I'll never forget that.
So, I guess my challenge to our audience would just be let's put Christ back in Christmas. This year.
He's always been in Christmas. It's literally in the name. I mean, when you say Merry Christmas, for example, I mean, it's literally in the spelling.
Right.
Don't go all war on Christmas on me. It's just...
Well, I mean, I feel like you kind of shut me down for no reason there. I mean, I understand how things are set.
I've heard this kind of talking point before.
I think that the point still stands, and honestly, people like Zach who, I mean, I just think you need to be careful with what you say. That's all that I'm saying, because we're here to lift up our fellow man and not to tear each other down.
Right, we're here to have a nice, merry,
not to take
Christmas episode.
The Lord's name in vain, for instance. So I'm just gonna say it again. I didn't really appreciate Zach's comment, so we're gonna say it one more time. Let's put the Christ back in Christmas, and that's all that I'll say about that front. I still drink. Methodists are pretty cool. I think that they're okay with premarital sex. I haven't talked closely with the pastor, but I'm pretty sure that's a Methodist thing. So, cheers to that.
Okay. Yeah.
With that being said, my heart is set to marriage now. So, So, I mean,
you're really.
I hope I can get married next year.
Here.
I hope I can get married next year.
All right. Anyways,
all right.
Thank you, Joseph, for telling us that.
No problem. Yeah.
Not.
Oof. All right, more eggnog, I think, is the answer.
We're going to cut this. Anyways, like I was saying, let's reminisce over some of the successes of the band, Maroon 5 cover band.
Yes. Some successes, Beanfest.
Beanfest was a smash hit. Absolutely smash hit.
I mean, that's my favorite show all year.
Oh, absolutely. I think
Just
we played very well.
No offense to those other places we had shows at,
Oh, no.
Intro to Swanson's, we love y'all. But
and we'd play there again.
And we'd play there again in a heartbeat. But yeah, I mean, Bean Day is really the big one in my mind.
Well, it was just so unique. I think that was the thing. It's it's very...
there's a lot of community.
Yeah, a good community. Trent Triola has always been a huge supporter of this project, so I cannot thank that man enough. We should maybe have him on the podcast sometime. That'd be pretty fun, actually. I'm sure he'd have some interesting things to say.
Oh, having Trent on the podcast. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Break it up.
I don't know why we haven't thought of that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems like a real Maroon 5 fan, and in turn a Maroon 5 cover band fan.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, he's Christ-like in a lot of ways. So,
yeah. Okay.
What are your religious beliefs, Zach?
I don't really subscribe to anything.
Gotcha.
In particular, I think a lot of
I remember when I was like that. Yeah.
I think a lot of different faiths and faith systems have have a lot to offer. And I don't know if you can really settle down on any one thing necessarily.
So you have a variety of practices.
Well, I'd say I'm sort of scoping out scoping out things in a certain sense.
Okay.
I've been to church before, Easter, Christmas sort of deal. So I understand the story of Christ and
Beautiful story. The best story ever written. Okay. Did you know that the Bible is actually the best-selling book of all time?
yes,
That's
I
crazy.
did know that. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that. Anyways, I don't necessarily subscribe to anything in particular. Christianity has some definite strengths, but I think it also has a few weaknesses, especially in the mainstream
Okay.
culture. So
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to double down on anything. I guess it's kind of like when you're like in a relationship, you sometimes you're in a relationship
Like you cheat on your spouse?
you what?
Oh, nothing. What were you saying?
No, sorry, you said like when you cheat on your spouse.
Well, just you were kind of being like you don't want to double down on any one.
Well, I would never do that. I mean, I am not Adam Levine.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't see what the metaphor was.
Sometimes I wish I was, but definitely not for that scandal, which unfortunately is one of the worst things that happened to me this year.
Well, lust attacks us all every day.
Mm-hmm.
I had an impure thought on the drive over here. Anyway. Oh, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying it's kind of hard to double down on any one thing, and I was gonna say before you kind of cut me off that it's sort of like like relationships in the sense that sometimes you find something that really sticks and is absolutely beautiful and wonderful, for whatever reason, sometimes that ends, and that's tragic. And I think that's kind of what's happened with me before with certain faith systems. Is I fall head over heels, if you will, and then something just doesn't sit right with me. So I.
What faith systems have you kind of had that experience with?
Well, I'd say I've flirted with Jesus in a sense. Obviously not literally because he died, but
he lives still. That's the good news.
Well, I mean,
kind of.
that's kind of within debate. I mean, that's debated.
Well, it's actually interesting
and,
that you bring this up because there's a lot more historical proof than you would think for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I mean,
sure, there's.
I think they found that stone that they rolled away. The tomb.
No, I know the tale, if you will.
But anyway, you were saying that you liked Jesus, or you.
Well, I've flirted with Jesus, but then I something didn't quite sit right.
Sure.
I think maybe it got a little too the church I was in got a little too they had their problems. There was a big church split over some like music related thing. Actually, I think it was in youth group. One of the youth pastors, who I really looked up to and respected, he played some what they call in church secular music, and that didn't sit well with certain members of the congregation. There was like the lead pastor who was kind of fine with it. He was all right, but the associate pastor was really, really against it, and actually wanted the youth pastor to get fired. But what ended up happening is the lead pastor was like, no, we don't need to fire him over this. I mean, we can talk with him. But So
sounds like maybe like the Methodist Church would have benefited me more. You know, it sounds like these people
Probably.
are a little uptight.
I mean, it seems like they drink, which a
Right.
lot of especially like Baptist churches don't even
No,
drink.
I love drinking. I love rock and
No,
roll.
they'll freak out if you crack open a bud.
And you know, I guess my challenge to Christians who don't think like that would be, you know, I mean, Jesus literally invented these things. You know, he invented alcohol. He invented rock and roll.
Well, I wouldn't.
Well, the last one I'm kind of kidding on, but
Okay, well,
but, you
that
know,
was a funny joke.
but he invented sex, though. You know, so
I don't know if Jesus himself invented
well,
sex.
I mean, like, you know, God the Father. You know, when he made all things.
Right, but isn't I mean, what? Like Jesus was born 2,000 years or 2,022 years ago.
I understand. Well, anyway, that's an interesting story. You know, honestly, I think it would be great to just maybe get coffee sometime and kind of just talk over some of these sort of spiritual issues you've been having. Because you know, on the air, it's a little weird. You know, I get it. It's stilted, but I'd always be down to kind of talk about my experiences. You know,
No, I'm pretty saying
and you know, I don't mind talking about some pretty, you know, heavy stuff. You know, I mean, porn addiction, you know, drug addiction.
Look, I don't want to talk about porn with you. That's not something I'm interested in.
I'm just saying the offer stance.
Swapping
The offer
notes
stance.
on.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for this podcast, but the offer
No,
stance.
definitely not.
But
Anyways, we're kind of getting away from.
not just wow. I mean, almost done with my second glass already.
Yeah, it's delicious, but I think it's the Jim Beam that's hitting. It's hitting me.
Anyway, there's just a couple things. What were you gonna say that I wanted to talk about? Pretty short, and we can wrap this one up.
Oh, I was just I wanted to list some successes of both the podcast and
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Band as a
I would love
whole.
to hear that. I love the
I mean,
positivity.
Bean Fest obviously was
Yeah.
fantastic. What the Fuck Fest was incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Even if our set was cut short, I think it really helped us flex our muscles a bit. It was actually a sold out show, I was told, and I think we mentioned that on the podcast before, but I thought that was incredible that people from all around Greenville came to Swanson specifically to see Maroon 5 cover band.
That's crazy.
It's
a win.
extremely humbling. But
I think one of my wins this year for myself was sort of how I stood up for Adam and, you know, ultimately sort of kept the band together in trying times. So,
I would not say
it's
a win.
I think, yeah, it's a win for me. I mean, I understand it not being a win for you. Sure, but I'd say it's definitely a win for me.
Well, I do not. I don't think that was a win for any of us. There's no victory in infidelity.
You know, I will say this, that after everything that I've, you know, sort of been through in my recent journey, I think Adam really does. I think there is, you know, that he's a flawed man, and there is sort of a hole in Adam's, you know, mind, soul, body, even. And that hole is a hole that needs to be filled by Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone. And, you know, I don't think that we need to tear each other down because we're all sinners, and I, you know, still oppose cancel culture, and I still think that these, you know, frankly, these women, you know, these models are pretty, you know, they're guilty too, and they're sinners too, but that being said, Adam's a flawed man, and Jesus, you know, he needs to let Jesus into those sort of areas of his life that maybe even he is afraid to go. So that would be sort of my message. Another success this year was the Halloween show. That was fun.
That was very fun.
That was fun.
Yes, always a pleasure. I think that acoustic set in particular was really effective. Again, reiterating, we're putting Songs About Jane on hold and covering all of Geordie, actually, all acoustic. So you guys can look forward to that. And that was partially inspired by that Halloween set, which we did all acoustic, and it was
that kind
very
of
good.
I've actually kind of was meaning to ask you, man. To be honest, I mean, like, the last podcast we kind of talked about just banging out these acoustic songs, and it's like, I know I texted you a couple times about it. I mean, it just feels like we're not really moving on the music front, and that's sort of, to me, more of a failure of this year is we really haven't released very much music. I mean, especially compared to last year. I mean, it sort of feels like we're stuck playing the same 5-6 songs at our shows because, it's like, we managed to fill, not fill, I'm sorry. We managed to, Freudian slip, I guess. We managed to finish V.
Right.
5, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
5. And
Success. The deluxe version with
the deluxe version.
5
And I was proud of us,
tracks
but
on
it just feels like we've been really floundering. I mean, like, I was really hoping maybe a new song a day even, and it's like,
look, man, these songs take a while to do. And look, the guitar parts are complicated. I mean, even though it's all acoustic, like in some ways it makes the guitar more difficult because you're, it's front and center. It's unavoidable. So all you have is vocals and the acoustic guitar. So, some of the picking is intricate, and some of the strumming patterns are kind of difficult to get the handle on. And
sure.
So, I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just saying that it's, if you knew how to play guitar, you would understand how difficult it was.
I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges, but when Craig was playing guitar for me,
you are comparing apples and oranges.
You could just kind of bang shit out.
Oh.
And that goes into my next point, which was I did hear from Craig's cousin that he's alive and that he's somewhere in West Virginia with some woman that he met. He didn't bother telling me this, of course. But for the Craig fans out there, and frankly for the Tears fans that have had a very disappointing year. I mean, let's be honest.
How many songs did you put out?
Well, we finished a demo, but I didn't feel like it was quite ready to be put out in the world. So,
right. Yeah.
But with that being said, I am looking for a new Craig, a new guitarist, if you will. Obviously not this guy. So, if you happen to know anyone, hit me up. Tears, in my opinion, not dead. And
it's dead. It's dead.
No matter how much my co-host disagrees, it's very much still a project that will be coming soon and will, probably live to surpass this band. And,
I don't know about that. As long as Maroon 5 keeps making good music, this could drag on for another 25 years. It's just. I don't see Adam
at the pace that we're
soon.
putting out songs. Yeah, it would take about 25 years to finish an album.
Well, look, I also have a job. Okay, I'm, trying to, maybe write my own.
Well, that's where all the energy's going. Clearly,
I'm okay. To be clear, I haven't.
Distract you.
Look,
who's your? You say you're all about Adam.
Okay, well, can I talk?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I think the beginning of the year and next year, I was honestly so depressed that all I had to think about was this thing. It was a good outlet, but now that I've become emotionally more healthy, mentally more healthy, I would say. I have allowed myself to move outside of things that are not strictly, recording songs. Do I play the songs every day? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I play them. But I want them to be good. I don't want to just shit out these
We just need
tracks.
a little more movement, man. I just feel like, I'm trying to think it'd be faster if I could just teach myself guitar, than for you to.
Oh, you're welcome to try to teach yourself guitar.
I already play the keyboard a little bit, so. watch out for that. I guess be careful how much I'm drinking from the bottle.
Oh yeah, that's.
Thanks for the whiskey and eggnog. It's great. It's just it's a little sweet glass after glass, so I'm just gonna have a little nip.
Well, I mean that's it's better if it's more festive and Christmassy if it's in the eggnog instead of just
Well, we can
slamming it back.
we can get that. So. Point being, new song coming soon, very soon.
Yes,
very,
absolutely.
very soon. And
I mean, who knows? We might.
I'm gonna stand this guy's case about it because, I mean, I know I've been unhappy with the pace, so I can't even imagine how the fans are feeling right now.
Well, I imagine they're doing just fine. I haven't heard any negative comments from anyone on our stories or.
Yeah, we're slipping behind. We're becoming irrelevant. That's what's happening.
No, I think we're just as relevant as ever.
Tortoise in the hair, sort of.
No. Look.
Falling behind.
Okay, wait. Halloween was how many months ago? 2 months. That's it.
Yeah.
Not even 2
Not a
months.
single song.
What do you mean? Not
We
a
didn't
single.
release a single song in that time.
But before that, we released "Harder to Breathe." If you
Right, so it's been
recall.
like 3 months.
Well, these
So what we're
take
doing?
time.
We're doing 4 songs a year.
Well, and don't forget we had the bombshell that was, Adam Levine on trial. Essentially, that was distracting. That like I thought I was mentally healthy and in a good place, and then that dropped, and I couldn't sleep for at least a couple days. I was drinking more. I'll admit I was drinking more, and I just kind of lost all joy in pretty much everything, to be honest. But that's another topic for another day.
Well,
we
new
can
music
start
coming
moving
soon.
on. We can
New
move
music
on.
coming soon. Honestly, I only have one more thing to say, really, this week, and that is and I know this is gonna annoy Zach, so we can start a timer. This can be a minute, maybe 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. I know a lot of people have been wondering about my comments about the UMAs, the Upstate Music Awards, and how they shut out cover bands. And I just wanted to reassure fans that I am not giving up the trail. I'm just I'm waiting for after the holidays to strike. Things kind of slow down this time of year. But I have been doing a lot of research. Been Googling Greenville-based cover bands, that sort of thing, to sort of understand the massive and diverse talent in the area, and
In the cover band section.
in the cover band area specifically. And I'm still planning on publicly calling out the UMAs, getting as many cover bands as we can, kind of on the coalition.
Well, again, I think this is a great idea, but I think you should probably craft an email, like a nice email.
Yes, that was a fine suggestion. I haven't worked on that, I'll admit, but I am willing to do that. I'm willing to take the Jesus route, as you will. The path of the path of the righteous path of reconciliation. Sorry, I think I'm just the buzz is hitting a little bit, but it's like you don't even realize that you're drinking alcohol, this stuff.
It really
Anyway, this is kind of your last warning, UMAs. I mean, I guess, the email will be the last official warning, but if you're watching, this is your last warning because the Avengers are assembling, the Avengers being the sort of individual cover bands of the area, and we're fed up with your bullshit, and we are coming for you, so.
That's kind of cool, actually. I kind of like the Avengers being the local cover bands, Greenville cover bands.
I like to think of us as kind of the Thor of Greenville,
No, he's kind of the silly one, isn't he?
Well, I mean, he's a god. I mean, he's also kind of the most alpha. He's
that's fair.
Arguably the most powerful.
No, he's attractive too. He's got that big chest.
Yeah.
But I think the Avengers, if you will, should assemble, and if this first email that you craft doesn't really go through, I think we should assemble and maybe craft another email, like as a collective, and perhaps get them all to sign. Sort of like a petition thing. We could even start a petition. I think
That's true. There's a lot of online
would be
petition sites.
a next step. But I don't think we should take to the streets.
I will work on that email.
That's
and
good.
That is the end of the check-in. The only other thing I have to say this week is just, or I guess we don't do these every week. It feels like it, God. I mean, we put on more podcasts than songs. It's like, is this a podcast or a band? Anyway, that being said, my only message is positive. It's one of hope. And my message really is that a lot of times this time of year, I know that people feel down. They feel, the weather, the darkness, the cold. And
God knows I felt that.
Something going on across the street. Anyway, my message is that Jesus Christ was born and died for you. And this is sort of this is not just an empty, wet, cold, cruel winter. This is a winter that brought forth the Savior of the world. And you're not alone. And that's my message. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, really. I mean, I know I'm kind of looking for my own Mary these days, so to speak. It's just kind of a joke, because I'm looking for, a wife, essentially. Because my name's Joseph, like Jesus' dad.
Well, I mean, Joseph didn't. That wasn't Jesus' dad. It was his stepdad.
Well, I mean, the story. I mean, Joseph, meets Mary, and they're perfect for each other, and they copulate, and through that act, the Savior of the world is essentially born.
That's not what happened. No.
And Mary being a virgin up until that point, the way that God intended, and
that's. I think you
Joseph, I assume, being a virgin. I mean, unfortunately, in my case, that ship has sailed.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I'm looking for my Mary, and
I'm just gonna let that all slide and let your priest take care of that during
pastor. Yeah, we're not
your pastor when you go to Christmas Eve service or whatever you do.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the greatest love story ever told. That's what it is, and that's my message to the fans. Is there any other bullshit we have to get through this time? I mean, listen, maybe we should get together and just jam. I just miss playing music.
Yeah, no, that could be fun. I for sure. I mean, with the holidays,
I could bring over like a tambourine, or maybe a harmonica, or just bring my voice. And
your voice is good enough.
That could be really fun.
No, I don't want any banging and clanging in the background. Certainly not a harmonica squeal. But yeah, I do agree. I think we should get back to the music. Maybe after Christmas we can start. New year, new us.
New year, new us. That's what I have to say. We do have one last point about business today. I almost forgot.
We do. Yes, this is the announcement that we talked about earlier.
Yes. Do you want to say it, or should I?
Oh no! You say it.
Tuesday, December 20th.
Next Tuesday,
coming up very soon.
Yes.
Depending on when we can edit this. We will have a Christmas party, a MVCB Christmas party at Trent Triola's house. And basically how this is going to work is we kind of wanted to take this to showcase, sort of as a resolution to the fans who have seen a lot of conflict between us on and off screen this year, that we wanted to kind of, because I think some of them honestly didn't take the time to really understand our positions, and so we decided to kind of take matters in our own hands. We're holding this party, and sort of what's going to kick off the party of the night is a screening of The Trial of Adam Levine, our podcast episodes a couple back, where we kind of discussed the nuance of Adam Levine, Bahati, their situation, his alleged infidelity at the hands of Sumner. And, we just break it all down in this, and I think that it's really important that the fans understand this and kind of see our togetherness on this. So we're going to have that. We encourage you, please no talking during it. I mean, if you need to talk, I guess you can go outside or maybe to another room, but
Yes.
no talking during the program. If you will.
To respect Adam,
Yes.
crew, and
us.
also us. Yeah.
And we'll be there,
Right.
And afterward, we'll have a kind of live audience Q&A where you can kind of just, this is a huge opportunity for MVCB fans. You get direct access to us, and you can just kind of, ask, just geek out, ask the questions you've always wanted to ask us, maybe ask us about some of the subtleties of sort of what was said in the podcast. Because we don't always have time to really go in depth in things.
No, I'd say it's a pretty thorough dissection, I would say, but it, I think with anything that's nuanced and big like this, you can always dig deeper, and so I think that's what the goal in the Q&A would be. But feel free to ask us any other sort of questions. We might even be able to answer some questions about Maroon 5. We are very knowledgeable about that.
Absolutely, anything you want to know.
Any fun facts.
Oh yeah, we got them all.
But yeah, again, I'm going to try to be as civil as possible. We do disagree on some aspects of the infidelity, but I think overall we've agreed to disagree, and
so that's sort of the message to the fans. So we'll have that Q&A and we'll have a Christmas party. If you don't know Trent Triola's address, you can DM us. We'll get it to you fast. And I'm looking forward to that. I actually do realize we have one more surprise, but I think I might have misplaced.
Oh yes,
but it's really it's worth a wait.
Yes, this is a special treat. This is a segment that we've never actually done before, but I would like to do something more like this in the future, with things of this nature, different media other than strictly music, potentially. But what we've got is a book. Actually, this is a book review, more like a book recommendation, I would say.
I have a hard time finding it. Just if you want to just keep stalling.
Well, we can just kind of.
Wasn't where I left it.
We can delay. Well, is it in a car?
No. I had it in your kitchen. I thought it was there, but it's not there, which means I must have picked it up, and that's the tricky thing. That's the trick.
Huh.
Carry on.
This is a bust. We'll probably just cut this because we don't need to. There's no reason for this to still be rolling. I don't know why I'm talking.
Good news, I found it.
Oh, excellent. Back on track.
In the hallway of all places.
All right.
This is kind of going to be a big. I'm just trying to avoid all the cameras. This is kind of a big reveal moment. So we put it on ourselves to kind of have a holiday pick. I know that people are always asking us. Actually, someone asked me over DM if we had T-shirts available recently, and I had to tell her no. I think we should get some printed up next year. But
New year, new us.
In lieu of that, I think that it really is important that we provide something, a recommendation to the fans as to a present they can get their, parents, their spouse, their children, their coworkers, and so this is our official 2022 holiday pick. It is a book entitled "Harder to Breathe" by Adam Levine. Or I guess it's actually by the drummer.
Yeah, the forward is by Adam
Levine. But, it says right here, the forward is by Adam Levine.
That's really the best part, to be honest. But it's chock full of band lore,
Oh yeah.
Lots of inside stories, kind of about how this drummer, I guess he was
fellow,
the first drummer.
I think he's still the drummer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I read the foreword completely, and then I sort of just started out. I'm not the biggest book guy, but I am dedicating myself. I am gonna get through it because I know that it's just loaded with, as Zach says, band lore, band facts, Adam Levine fact. It feels like Adam and this drummer fellow really worked hand in hand. I mean, I'm surprised that Adam, who's right here in the middle of the cover. I'm surprised.
Show it to the camera.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Adam here is right here in the middle of the cover. His name isn't here because it just feels like. Oh Jesus, goodness! Sorry about that.
Sorry, continue.
It's surprising that Adam's name isn't on the cover because, frankly, it just feels like his fingerprints are all over this book. And I loved the foreword. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to love the rest of the book. Mm-hmm. And this is our visual MVCB holiday pick for 2022.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to echo what Joseph said. I also haven't read the whole thing. I just read the foreword, but it's a great foreword. Adam really talks this guy up. So I would highly recommend it, and that's why I said it's more of a book recommendation than a book review, because I don't think it's really fair.
I think the book review could come because
I think
haven't read it cover to cover.
Right, once we read it, that's
look, I'm looking in the back too. I mean, it's just everywhere.
Well, do we want to read an excerpt or something from this?
Oh yeah, from the foreword.
Yeah, the foreword would be great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think it'd be fair to read something that we haven't read. But yeah, there's a few good paragraphs in there.
I'm just gonna start at the beginning here.
Yeah.
Okay. Forward. This is by Adam Levine. B. Adam Levine. My friendship with Ryan precedes music. It was a childhood friendship that started when I was about 11 years old. You'll read about how we met a little later in the book, but here's a teaser Here's a teaser because I love telling this story. Essentially, our friendship started when I tried to impress him at the soda dispenser in 7-Eleven. Needless to say, he wasn't impressed. What a character.
We've all been there.
He was 2 years my senior, which is an eternity when you're in high school. At the time, we had started what would eventually become Kara's Flowers. Now, longtime fans will know that was pre-Maroon 5 band, Adam's band. Mm-hmm. And later, Maroon 5 with, these other guys. To us, Ryan was the unattainable drummer. We were the little freshmen who would have been lucky to have him play with us. We would just watch him beat the shit out of the drums in awe. At the time, we all lived in the city dive of Pearl Jam, great band.
Good band. Yeah.
Nirvana, great band. Tool, they're all right.
Who's Tool? What are they doing? Oh, they're like
the weird album
like
covers.
Hard rock. Psychedelic rock.
Yeah. Alice in Chains and Ryan's personal favorite, Soundgarden. Interesting, never heard of it. And he could play all of that. Ryan saw something in me, and it wasn't my charm or good looks. Well, I doubt that, Adam. As I was an angsty, hormonal teenager with a face full of acne.
Well, I doubt you had a lot of acne.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's way better looking than me at that age.
Right, yeah. No, my face is kind of...
I had my fair share, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find the good parts.
Good.
I like this one. Back then, music was much more compartmentalized. Fitting into the scene was part of the way that things worked. What we were doing wasn't met with much enthusiasm and often left people confused. We were 5 white kids in an LA rock band playing soulful R&B pop music. At the time, even some of the other guys in the band thought it was crazy. Once we started writing quality songs, everybody got on board. But it was still super ballsy to make a record like Songs About Jane.
No, it really was, for the time especially, yeah.
Nobody knew what the fuck we were. Well, I love how real he is. I mean, who cusses?
Oh, yeah.
In their forwards.
It's kind of refreshing, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
When someone's so well-known and high up.
Oh, yeah. It's so down to earth.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had to believe in each other when nobody else really did. I feel that it was a huge risk, but it would pay off. You know, I think this is the kind of book that's really going to inspire me because I think that I've been needing the extra drive to sort of kickstart tears, to sort of write myself into rock and roll history, so to speak.
Well, I don't.
And I think this is the book that's going to give. I know a lot of people, Zach included, are going to say no, you know, because that's what people say.
No, I'm just saying that you can write yourself into rock and roll history with Maroon 5 cover band. Like that's really what this
maybe
podcast
if we came
is
out
about.
with more, you know, songs.
Well, I mean, it's not about songs; it's about hits and.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
the quality of the hits, which, I mean, to be fair, Maroon 5 has all the hits in the book, in my opinion.
Anyway, I'm actually gonna be late to I'm supposed to. I have this men's group. They drink. I mean, you know, this is Methodist. I'm actually running a little late. I'm a little. I think I'm okay to drive. So
you might want to.
I think I'm just gonna get a glass of water. So.
You're gonna need more than a glass of water.
Well, you know, listen, I'll be fine, and I just don't want to miss out on a chance to kind of connect with other men. Really, I mean, you know, let's be honest. I wish I was meeting the women's group, but you know, I think it'll be good to sort of establish myself, sort of meet the, you know, the brothers, the fathers, of my future wife. So.
Why would you want that?
Well, I think that I would want that because I'm not just trying to, you know, excuse my language, you know, screw somebody. I'm trying to, you know, become a part of that person's family, really. So I think it's a great opportunity. I think we could just say...
Why not just cut the middleman,
we should just
literally, and go straight to, like, a singles group or something? I'm sure there's plenty of women there.
Can't trust those women. You just oof. No.
Oh, so you can trust their brothers and their dads?
Well, I think that these men are going to know a lot about these women's characters. You know, when you think about that, that's sort of a vetting process.
Okay, whatever you do.
So anyway, I really need to hit the road. I'm going to be late, and I don't want to make a bad. I don't want to make a bad first impression.
Well, if you show up sloshed, you're going to make a bad first impression.
Not sloshed, okay? I'm just
I mean, look, I'm not sloshed, but I
mean, I'm barely tipsy. I would say I'm sober. Capital S, sober. Maybe not capital, but sober. Anyway, and I'll be fine. It's, you know, it's just like a 10, 15 minute drive. So, let's just say goodbye to the fans and let's hit the road. You know.
All right. Well, I'm staying put. But yeah, this has been a wonderful episode. I definitely feel like I'm in the holiday spirit now.
Oh yeah.
A few tense parts, but that's fine. We look forward to see you all back. Well, first of all, we look forward to seeing you at the Trial of
Party, December 20th, Tuesday.
Yes, and then we also look forward to seeing you next year for season 3 of the MVCB.
And a lot of
podcast.
singles. A lot of singles coming next year.
A lot of singles. A lot more singles.
Mm-hmm.
I promise I will work on some music.
Nice. All right.
It's a promise.
Let's just say I appreciate that, Zach. I really do.
Yeah.
Let's just say a little
Christmas present to you.
Oh, thanks. This guy. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. Do you want to just say goodbye to the fans?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was getting cheers.
Oh yeah. No,
well, to the friendship, and even though we don't. I mean, I don't need to say this. You know, I'm glad that you're in the Maroon 5 cover band with me. So
I'm really glad to know you, Zach. Hello. And to play music with you.
Well, I appreciate
for the many more years to come.
Many more years.
Many more years. Happy holidays, happy Christmas.
And make happy, wonderful, merry new year.
Yes. All right. And thank you to the MV.
Well, hang on, let's say it together. Let's really go out with a bang.
Oh yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, MVCBP. Oh, shit.
Always fuck that up.
we need to like, just
Okay.
Okay. We just need to. Are we just saying PF this time?
Let's do PFs and then BFs. Okay.
Okay.
So the podcast first because that's what we're doing right now,
Okay,
and then the
okay.
BFs.
I guess I just think the music's more.
I'm sorry, I'm getting frustrated. It's just every fucking time we do this.
I guess I just think of the music as being more important, so I kind of put it before the podcast. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, MVCBPFs.
And thank you,
MVCBFs. Awesome. Merry
Good,
Christmas,
you did
man.
it. All right.
You be
Merry
safe,
Christmas.
okay? You be safe.
Why not?
You be safe.
Yeah, you drive safe too.
Oh, yeah.
Text me when you're at this.
All right, yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good, man. Out.